Alright, boys, our 2020 week-by-week schedule was just released. Well, by the time you're seeing it, it was released last night. You'll be seeing this video probably like 4 a.m. in the morning. But anyways, it is time. Without further ado, I'm not going to wait any longer. It's time to predict the Atlanta Falcons 2020 schedule 2.0 because I already did this a few months ago. But anyways, let's get started. So we start off week 1 at home. Yes, at home. First time that we have an opening day game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium versus the Seattle Seahawks. And let me say this is a game that I could absolutely see us losing. I'm going to say that first up. But I do think right now we do win that game only because, it's opening day. This is a retooled Falcons team against the Seahawks team that should definitely be ready to, make a splash. But, I still think that, do have a little bit of concerns. Not too many, just a little bit. I do think Falcons win this game. This will be very close. This is going to be like one of those games last year. It was where 49ers and Saints, no one's going to give us a chance. But at the end, we do pull it off. So, 21-23, Falcons will win it. Opening day in Atlanta. So week 2, we go to Dallas to face the Dallas Cowboys. And, this is a L, unfortunately. I think that the Cowboys are going to rebound a little nicely. I do think that they really have a big shot at winning that NFC East. I think Ezekiel Elliott's going to have a great bounce back here. Dak Prescott or Andy Dalton starting at quarterback. They got good weapons. The defense, I have some concerns about. I do think that we will be in this game at first, but then in normal Falcons fashion, just let the game pull away from us. So, I know those Cowboys fans are going to be talking all that smack about us. I guess you got to take it. The Cowboys win this game 28-17. Yeah. So, week 3, we play at home versus Chicago Bears, and this game could go either way. It could be a game we lose, it could be a game that we win. I think that we will win this game. It all comes down to who the Bears are starting at quarterback. They play Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback. We can win by a blowout. They play Nick Foles at quarterback. It could be a little tougher. I still think we would squeeze out the win. I think this will be a defensive battle. And I do see it coming down to overtime, but I think the Falcons will win 16-13 in overtime. Week 4, the Atlanta Falcons go up north to Green Bay to Lambeau Field to face the Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football. It's the first of 2 primetime games this season, and this isn't going to be good for us. I think we can all face it. Green Bay may not be a good team, but, it's just the Falcons' tradition. We never do good up in Lambeau. And just South teams in general don't do good up in Lambeau. This is Monday night. This is Matt Ryan versus Aaron Rodgers. A very good matchup, but I don't really see us winning. I see the Packers winning. And I see them winning pretty big. I see 34-21 Green Bay. So week 5, we come back home to play the Carolina Panthers. And look, I don't have to explain much. This is an absolute W. Panthers fans, Bobby A. Camel tones, keep pounding TV, Panthers fans. And, how has it felt, to talk all that trash to us, but not be able to win here since 2014? I just want to ask that. And overall, in the Dan Quinn era, us being 8-2 against y'all's asses, yeah, I gotta explain a lot here. We are going to definitely win this game. Score prediction, I say 33-16. 33-16. Falcons win this game. So week 6, the Atlanta Falcons travel up to Minnesota to play the Minnesota Vikings. There was a rumor this was the Thanksgiving night game, which I was not going to take. I mean, we would have played on Thanksgiving, but it wasn't against the Saints. We do not play on Thanksgiving against the Saints, which I'm fucking pissed about. But we're talking about the Vikings. So, I think we lose this game. I think it's going to be like last year. We're not going to be able to handle that loud crowd up in Minnesota. I think he'll be a little closer than last year. It'll be a little bit of a better game. We get them in week 6, but they're still a good team. This could maybe be the shocker game of the season where we win, but I think that we do lose 26-17. I think it's really going to come down to what the Vikings are going to do. I do think that they're going to run the ball good, and they will just put up a gooder performance than the Falcons, dropping the Falcons to 3-3. So the next game is week number 7 versus the Detroit Lions, and this could be a loss here, but I think that this is a win. I do think Detroit is going to put up a pretty good fight against us. And it could even be an unexpected L for the Falcons. But I do think that we win this game. I think that, Detroit will keep it, close. It'll be a blowout at first, and Detroit will get it close. And I overall think that the Falcons will win this game 24-17. So the next game, week 8, at the Carolina Panthers on Thursday night football. I do think that this will be a little more competitive than that other game, but I still think the Falcons win. I think this will be actually a pretty tight game, back and forth overall. Julio Jones just does Julio Jones things, and obviously he does that to the Carolina Panthers, and he will probably score the game-winning touchdown to seal a 24-28 win in Charlotte on Thursday night, and putting the Falcons at 5-3 at the mid-season mark. So week 9, we play at home versus the Denver Broncos, and this was supposed to be a London game, but obviously because of everything going on in the world right now, moved back to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I think this game is going to shock a lot of people. I think they're expecting the Falcons to win this game. I think that the Falcons are going to lose this game, and I think that they're honestly going to lose it, not by 3 points. I could see us losing this game by 10 points, which is actually what I do see here. This is really going to be like that Tampa Bay game last season where we should have won and then all of a sudden we lost. Broncos, they got Drew Lock, they got Cortland Sutton, they got Jerry Jeudy, on defense, still got Von Miller and, Justin Simmons in that secondary, and AJ Boye they traded for, and, a good running game with Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay. I think that this game should be one that the Falcons can win, but they probably actually won't win. An opponent they'll take for granted, and they will lose too. So after the Week 10 bye, it is the first of 2 matchups with our arch rivals, the best rivalry in the NFL. Do not even at me, the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans, and we all know what we did last year when they were 7-1, and we were 1-7, and we went in there and absolutely smacked the ever-living shit out of that Saints fucking crowd. But I don't think we do this year. I do think we lose this game. I do think that we are able to actually keep it close. I think that's how it's going to be with both games this year. I think that we will, keep it close at first and then eventually, get away. I do think that the Saints will win this game 31-20. And yes, it's obviously a tough place to play. Maybe one of the best Saints teams ever. I mean, they could absolutely win the Super Bowl if, they weren't out and not choked to the Vikings. But, I guess we'll see. And yes, so now puts the Falcons record at, I believe, 5-5 on the year. So after that, we have Week 12 at home versus the Las Vegas Raiders, and I think that this is going to be a win. I do think that the Raiders are going to be a alright team this year. I don't think that, they're going to be able to come here to Atlanta and get a W. Now, you never know. I mean, it could happen. This could be one of those games where, we take our opponent for granted. But I do think that the Falcons are going to be able to win this game. I think that they win this game around 27-14. I think that the Raiders could definitely use, a little bit more building before they become playoff contenders. They're definitely trying to get there. You could tell that. But I do think that the Falcons will get this one in the end. So after that, we get ready for Week 13, the Atlanta Falcons hosting the New Orleans Saints. My favorite game to go to. Definitely going to try my hardest to go to this game. I do think that the Falcons are going to win this game. Don't give, and I think that lots of Saints fans deep down know that the Falcons will win this game. But they just really don't want to admit it. I mean, we are two very good teams, and, I do think that the Falcons will win this game. It's very hard to give a score. I do think that this is going to be close. I'm going to go with 30 to... Let's give it a 30-24 score. 30-24, the Atlanta Falcons win over the New Orleans Saints in Atlanta, putting us to 7-5 on the year. So now we go Week 14 at the Los Angeles Chargers, and this could really come down to, who is going to be the Chargers quarterback, who I actually think it will end up being Justin Herbert at this time. I do think that the Falcons will win. The Chargers have a pretty good team, but I think the Falcons squeak this one by 24-20. I think that, this is going to be a tough battle. They, are very, kind of, in a way, they, do pretty okay on the West Coast. I mean, beat the Raiders 2016, Seahawks Monday night 2017. Last year, upset the 49ers. So, I mean, they do okay on, the West Coast. And beat the Rams 2016. So, I mean, there isn't a big problem on the West Coast with us. And I think that we're going to be able to squeak by here. So, yes, 24-20. So, Week 15, the game that I really want to see other than the New Orleans game. Maybe a game I want to see more than the New Orleans game. Matt Ryan versus Tom Brady. Now, we did get this in 2017, a few months after the whole certain thing happened. But in Atlanta, Matt Ryan, facing the person who ripped the Super Bowl from him. And in Atlanta, this is the game that I will most likely end up going to. This is the game I'm marking on my calendar. If we could go to the game, this is the one I'm going to. And I think the Falcons are going to win this. And I think this is going to be a good offensive shootout between these two teams. I do think that the Falcons are going to win this game 36-30 in overtime. I think it's going to be a great game. And hopefully, if we are able to go, I sure can't wait to go. And finally, shut the Tampa Bay bandwagon fans the hell up. Week 16, the least exciting game I'm looking forward to this season. The Atlanta Falcons have to go out to Kansas City, probably in the snow, and face probably no doubt the best player in the NFL, maybe the best athlete in the world right now, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, Look, I'm about to get blasted, but the Falcons do not have a chance. Not a chance in hell in this game. The Falcons are going to lose this game big time, 48-21. And yes, I am actually serious. 48-21. You know, Patrick Mahomes is on another level, you know, at this point. I think he's going to win the MVP. He's going to be a $40 million a year man. I don't really got much more explaining, you know. I mean, you know, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, you know, I mean, Travis Kelce, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you know, Chris Jones and Tyrann Mathieu on defense, and, you know, Kendall Fuller, those boys. I don't really see us having a chance from the beginning in this game. Falcons lose this one 48-21. Dropping us to 9-6 and really having to come down to week 17 for us. So, we have reached the end. Week 17 for the third year in a row. We're going down to Tampa Bay to face Tampa Bay and all those bandwagon fans. And unfortunately, we lose this game. And I think that this is going to be a very hotly contested game. I just think that at the end, the Bucs will be able to, you know, win this game. And honestly, I do think that, you know, the Bucs are going to make the playoffs next year. I'd laugh my ass off if they don't, but I do think they will. I think for this game, we'll get a 27-23 game. Falcons, they'll do what they normally do, take control early, and then just absolutely collapse in the end. So overall, I got the Atlanta Falcons finishing an okay to kind of good 9-7 record. It will be an improvement from last year, no doubt about it. You know, I mean, we went 7-9 last year, 9-7 being a 2-game improvement. Sadly, we don't make the playoffs, and I know it's very, very, you know, something that lots of Falcons fans don't want to hear, but at the same time, I do think that it could end up being the truth. I mean, in conclusion, you know, this is a great team that could absolutely compete in this division. But I just don't know if, because, I mean, Dan Quinn, he needs to get them firing out week 1. And week 1, we got to face Seattle. Even though it's at home, you know, we don't got much of a home field advantage. And etc., etc. I just think that, you know, we're going to, you know, run into a brick. We're going to, you know, be 9-5. It's looking like, they could maybe make playoffs. And then, you know, Falcons, they run into a hole with Kansas City and then carries over to the last game of the season. As far as Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff's status, do they get fired? Who knows, honestly. You know, they should have last season, but Arthur Blank kept them. And at this point, I kind of feel like, you know, it doesn't really matter. Because, I mean, even if we did go, say, you know, 9-7, probably would still keep them for 2021, which is not the best, but I mean, you know, we gotta get it done this year or next year, 2021. But yes, that is my predictions. This is, you know, 2.0. I may do one during the summer. Definitely gonna do one like week before the season actually starts. So yes, I will see y'all on Monday for a new video. Rise up.